We're going to start off priming our tray with a white colored spray paint. I do all of my trays like this. It just gives it a nice base coat just in case I want to add other colors. I get the tray from Dollar Tree for $1. Next, we need to find and upload our images. Here, I'm working with Design Space by Cricut. So you're going to find your images. I usually find them off Google or Etsy, and we're going to upload them onto a blank canvas in Design Space. You want to have an idea of where you want to place your images, how wide, how tall. So here I am just resizing the images to the size that I want to place them on the tray. The Kobe cutout is 6 by 6 inches. The Lakers logo is 8.25 by 2.75 inches. And the KOBE letters are 6 inches by 2 inches. I'll have all those linked in the description box below. So here's the fun part. I know a lot of you are going to ask, how do I get the image inside of a letter? So I'm taking the letter B because I only want the image inside of this particular letter. I'm going to grab my image and then I'm going to place the image behind my letter B. You want to make sure that your font is bold enough so that you can place an image inside of it. As you see here, I'm taking the letter, I placed it on top of the image. I'm then going to highlight both the letter and the image, and then I'm going to press slice at the bottom of the screen. What this is going to do is going to cut that letter B to that image, and now I'm left with a B with Kobe's in it. Like, how awesome is that? It's okay if you need to pause right here, rewind it, and go watch it again. It's super simple though. Once you get a hang of it, you'll be doing it forever and ever. Now that we have all of our images resized, we're going to print them out and cut them. You want to make sure that you print them on the best quality possible. Also, I'm using glossy sticker paper. You can use plain copy paper and seal it with Mod Podge if you do not have sticky paper. There are so many ways that you can print this image out and place it onto your tray. It's time to paint the trays now. I am using royal violet, purple, and golden yellow acrylic paints. I got these from Walmart for 50 cents a piece. Also, you're going to need some brushes. I got those from Dollar Tree for $1. You're going to start with the yellow paint. You're going to cut your tray in half and paint half of it yellow. It does not have to be perfect. This tray was not perfect. It had imperfections, but I wanted it that way. So if you want perfect lines and a very opaque tray, I would suggest using spray paint, but I love working with acrylic paint. So after your yellow, you'll do the other side with purple. You want to make sure that you leave a thin white strip in the middle of the tray. I just really thought that it added a much needed detail than just painting the whole tray one color. Once you have finished painting your tray, you want to let it dry completely. Once your tray is dry, it'll look something like this. Now what we're going to do is cut out our images. Now you can use your Cricut to cut these images, but I thought it would be best to cut them by hand, and so that's what I'm doing. Once you have all of your images cut out, you want to place them on your tray to see how they fit. I am using sticker papers, so I'll take the backings off of the stickers and stick it to the tray. If you are using copy paper, you can adhere your images down with Mod Podge, a thin layer of Mod Podge. Let that dry completely before you add the epoxy. But here, I'm just taking the backing off of the stickers and placing my images. This is what your tray should look like once you finish. Next, it's time to epoxy. I want to give a very quick but urgent disclaimer when working with epoxy. Please wear a mask and be in a well ventilated area when working with epoxy. I'm not going to go through much detail. If you want another video about epoxy, I can definitely make that for you. Here you will need epoxy. You will need 2 smaller cups for the epoxy, 1 larger cup to mix the epoxy, a wooden stick, gloves, a lighter to pop the bubbles, and yeah. So we're going to start off measuring our side A and side B of the epoxy. You want to make sure they are equal sides, stir it together very well for at least 5 minutes or until clear. But you want to make sure that this process is completed the best that you can, get it done. Now that your epoxy is all mixed, you want to place something down so that you don't make a mess. I'm going to start by epoxying the outside of the tray first, just to make sure that everything gets covered around the rim. And then I'll pour the remaining epoxy in the middle and use my finger to kind of smooth everything out. After that, I'll take my lighter and I'll pop any bubbles that comes to the surface. Once this process is complete, I let the tray sit for about 10 minutes and I come back and I check on it every few minutes to see if any bubbles has arisen. And then I take the lighter and pop those bubbles. You'll see exactly what I mean in just a few minutes. But you want to make sure you take your time with this, not too much time because you don't want the epoxy to start curing, but you want to make sure that you get every nook and cranny. You want to make sure that everything is covered very well so that your tray will have a smooth, nice finish at the end. Now that everything is done, you want to let this tray cure for 24 hours. Also, if you like this video, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up to let me know that it was helpful to you. And I am so amazed at just the outpour of love on this tray. Oh my gosh. I do want to close by saying rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and the other family that lost their lives on that day. May you all rest in peace.